I'm Beth Ann.
What's up? I'm Ayla.
This is Let's Talk BL, a boys love podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. It is Sunday, Series Sunday, that day of the week where we talk all things, all series.
2023 series.
Full of spoilers. So if you haven't watched every series this year, no, I'm just kidding. Of course.
Yes.
Typically on Sundays, we talk about one series and one series only, chock full of spoilers.
do.
But it is the end of the year. Another year has come and gone.
What a year.
I know, and we've done best ofs before, but we thought, what better episode to do a best of than Series Sunday when we're talking just about series. So
Yes.
today's Series Sunday is all series, the best series of 2023 in our humble opinions. And please keep in mind, this is literally just our opinion. We have emotional, damage, but also emotional attachment.
We have imprinted on certain boys, and they could literally read the phone book to us and we'd be like, this
right
is
I'd be like,
brilliant.
I would be like, this is artistic genius. Thank you. Yeah.
I read the phone book, truly. What is the 2023 equivalent of if they read a phone book? Because there's no way that that's still relevant.
True. I don't know.
They read the dictionary, but are there printed dictionaries anymore?
Yeah.
What if you are?
There's printed textbooks, right? Like they
There
could
you
read
go.
a textbook. We've all struggled with.
There we go, textbook.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Anyways.
Yes. So today we are talking our top series of 2023. Our being our and individually our.
Yeah.
We each made a list. We felt like we couldn't limit ourselves to 5 each, so we have gone with 10 each.
Yeah.
Not just Thai. We're also talking. I don't know what all you have on yours, but I have 3 countries on mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Thai always come in hot. The Thai truly
so much.
They release so much. According to blwatcher.com, which is where I looked at the list of what came out in this year, Thailand, of completed 2023 series, there were 49 that began and ended in 2023.
Oh, right. Speaking of, I suppose we should talk about the rules because we really went through it over the rules over what is a 2023 series. What we decided is it did not have to start in 2023, but it did have to end in 2023. And the reason for this rule is because frequently you can have a show, a series that you're watching, that you're loving, and then the last couple episodes come out and you're like,
trash.
What the hell? This is garbage now.
Mm-hmm.
So we felt like, and also you can have a show that was only mediocre up until the last few episodes. And then you're like, oh my God, it's all come together now. This is genius.
Yeah.
So that's why we felt like it had to have ended in 2023, which means some of those that started in 2022 would technically be allowed to be included in our 2023 lists.
Agree.
And then some that have started in 2023 that haven't finished are going to be notably absent, most likely.
Right.
Because again, they haven't finished yet, and we cannot pass full judgment.
Stay tuned for 2024.
Yes.
1 year from now.
1 year from now.
Lord have mercy. Who knows where we'll be?
I know. We did this last year too, and I think we made a similar joke of in a year, ha ha ha, and now here we are in a year, ha ha ha.
Time flies. In BL world, time makes no sense.
Truly.
Okay. Shall we get to it?
We shall. I think it's obvious as to if you're watching this and not listening to this. Which, by the way, speaking of 2023 stats, our Spotify Wrapped came out as a podcast. Thank you to everybody that tagged us in your Spotify Wrapped. Truly awesome.
Very cool.
But Let's Talk BL, it turns out, was in the top 5% most streamed video or most watched video podcasts.
It's so cool.
On all of Spotify, which is crazy.
You love our faces?
So you're probably no, they love the boys' faces.
I know.
So you're probably watching this right now. I think it's pretty obvious what's on both of our lists. So why don't we just get it out of the way?
Yeah.
First one up, La Pluie.
Yes.
Okay, why is this on your list?
I mean, for so many reasons. Yes. Number 1 being Sia. Number 2 being this cast as a whole was exceptional.
Yeah,
Dark Horses. Didn't see any of the pairings coming, and they delighted my life endlessly.
Yeah, I was so confused when this show first got announced because I was like, I was like, okay, because I knew all of these boys individually for the most part. I was very sus when it came to Sia and Copter.
Yep.
But I was on board because Sia, and then it turns out Copter is outstanding, truly a gem, like such a good actor. Oh my God, he
Killed
is
it.
good. Oh my God, that monologue. The monologue at the end when he's telling Sia, when he's telling Tien, I suppose, but like to me is Sia.
Yeah.
When he's telling Tien, like when he's confessing in the school like courtyard.
Yeah,
I guess it's
I
like
think
a
so,
courtyard, a rec area. I don't know, whatever you call it.
Common area.
That monologue is one of the most beautiful scenes I have ever. God, just the way he delivers those lines. Oh, it kills me. Oh my God, Copter is so good. But also like I knew Title.
I mean,
and I knew P. Title. And when they were like, it's gonna be Title and P, I was like, huh? And then it was Title and P, and I was like, okay.
No. I was like, no, kiss the whole series,
the
please.
whole time.
So good.
So good.
I mean, listen, we were full Title stands going into La Pluie. We were like, we had like jumped on that Title train hard because we had watched Remember 15.
Me.
Remember 15.
Well, and Remember Me.
And then we had watched Remember Me.
Because Remember Me with the black V-neck, I will remember always.
Oh, 100%.
I will always remember.
And then we saw him, this like villain situation in future series.
Yes.
Came out of nowhere. And then La Pluie. And he is a sweet, sweet gem of a boy.
And a chiseled jaw that could cut stone.
This Title can literally play any character and every character and disappear as Title, and I just see the boy that he's playing.
Yeah. Also, I loved the friend groups in this because they weren't one dimensional. Like they all kind of had their own thing going on, and they weren't all like. So, for example, P's friends, Ma's friends, he's a vet in the show, right? And so all of his friends are vets. And at one point, so there's a little GL side couple that happens. Cute. But like initially Orm is his friend, and like it's not that she's not rooting for Ty and Ma to get together. It's more so that she like knows this girl, right? Because they were like, you know, they were all mutual friends. And so you kind of see her struggle with like playing both sides of right. Like these are my friends that have broken up. And I was like, that's really impressive that they included that, because typically you'd see kind of like Orm's character in Love Mechanics.
Yeah.
Right? Where you'd see her be like
ride or die.
Not my friend.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but that's real, right? It's real to kind of struggle with, oh God, my friends have broken up and like, what do I do now? And right. And so, yeah, I thought that the friends seemed like real people. I really enjoyed that about this show too.
I agree.
Also, so many mountain frolics.
So good. Yeah. I did love that they ended this in Chiang Mai, in Mae Kampong.
Yes.
Kissing in the streets. Go listen to our series Sunday for La Pluie. We have so much more to say about that one.
Yeah, and go watch our interview with the cast of La Pluie.
Yes. Truly. Gems of humans. Okay.
So good.
Next up, I'm curious from here on out. I feel like both of us will have OnlyFriends.
Yeah, I have OnlyFriends.
OnlyFriends.
Okay, so next up, OnlyFriends. Why is this on your list?
10 out of 10. I've rewatched this so many times. Mainly because I'm just in awe of how each of these actors brought these characters to life. There are still conversations on the timeline about these characters. About Mew, about Ray and Sand. And that is truly the mark of a good show, when you see people talking about characters more so than actors, especially coming out of GMMTV, because those actors take over just like the internet conversation and characters are left in the dust. Yeah. And so it's really impressive when you get people talking about like why, like I literally the other day saw people defending Mew's character of like why he did what he did and like why he gets so much grief, and like people treating Mew like a real person in real life. And I've even been seeing a lot of people tweeting about tattoos they've been getting from the show, and like JoJo and Ninu talking about like and responding to that. And just like I loved, we talked about this with You're My Sky, right? speaking of show tattoos, and how special it is when you have creators and cast also join a conversation with fans on the internet. It makes a show that's good 10 times better because the conversation around it, the engagement around it, there's something so special. I mean, you see that with like, I really love film festivals and like TV, like Comic-Con types things, because you get creators and actors and artists in conversation with people who consume the media. And it's such a cool interaction because everybody sees it in such different ways, and it always leads to new ways of seeing a thing that you are passionate about that you never thought about before, that then you get a new perspective and it feels like a fresh thing on a thing that you already love. And it was just really cool to have that whole conversation around that show.
Yeah, I think for me, all of that, but also I thought this show was iconic for its mixing and matching.
Yeah.
I think that even though we all claim to have like, you know, we're well adjusted enough to know that our ships aren't real and all this and whatever, and they can move on and whatever. I think that is still a really big part of the BL industry that is like not holding us back, but is holding us back, right?
I agree, yeah.
And we see this happen, and it's no one's fault that like ships will continue to get brand deals together, and so the ship just lives on and on and on and on. And there's not really any new art being made. And so I think that being able to separate the ship from the characters that boys can play on TV is a really cool thing that this show did, because we have Neo and Mark, who of course like shipped a million different ways since Sunday. Yeah. And then you have like a Book Force. So I think that this show is really interesting to see how we have like Book Force, who again, they're the ship that they're the ship. Mm-hmm. They do ship work, they get the brand deals, they're Force Book, right? Yeah. Like you have them, but then you also got to see them play characters where Force's character dated someone else and actively hooks up with someone else in the show. Right. And same thing with Mew in the show, Book's character, actively like dates Cowtongue's character, Ray, right? And so, like, I think this show is really iconic in being able to show us that, like, ships can still be ships and that's fine and great, but these boys can go, it was like a gentle entry into, like, let them play whatever character, whatever role with whatever pairing they want. It doesn't damage the ship. Yeah. And the two things aren't mutually exclusive.
I mean, shout out to Neo and Mark for being the prime example, because Neo and Mark get brand deals. Mark Namtan get brand deals.
Mark and Ford? Yeah.
Mark Ford get brand deals. Yeah. Neo Louis still get brand. Like, literally, you can ship these any way you want. Yeah. But let them play characters who kiss all the boys.
It's like a choose your own adventure. Yeah. I love it. And I thought this was like a really important thing that this show did. Yeah.
So good. Yeah. Okay. I really don't know if we have anything else.
I mean, surely we both have My School President.
We do not.
No?
I do not.
I'm shook.
I had to make sacrifices.
Fascinating. So, again, this is one of those where it started in 2022, but it finished in 2023. Yes. Therefore, it's allowed to be on my list. I have My School President because I think it was a reset. My School President really, for me, I noticed marked like truly like a reset, kind of similarly to what Together did, from what I can tell, because like I came into it after Together, but like from my observation, where like it brought in so many new fans, and it sort of was this like fresh take on something we'd already seen. I've said before, I don't think it was groundbreaking because the concept and what they did in the show has been done before. So it's not like this is the first time it's ever been done, but they had a really fresh take on it. I think that Fourth and Gemini are two of the most exciting actors that we've gotten out of GMM TV in the past year. Like new debuting actors. And it was just like, it was such an iconic moment in BL history that I was like, yeah, we have to. Like, I think My School President is going to like remain like an iconic part of BL history, probably for like years to come.
Yeah, I would agree, and I would agree with the Gym 4 of it all too. With that, they've navigated the fan space, and they've navigated the celebrity of it all while still being 18-year-old boys.
Except that Sweet Gemini just had to tweet like, please stop following me on vacation.
I know.
Sweet Gemini.
And yeah, they definitely deal with like what comes with being famous, but they still are very much boys, and they're still hanging out with their friends and their mommy on vacation. They still feel like how we really came to know and like them from the My School President days. And I don't feel like any of those My School President boys like let that popularity get to their heads. They all seem very normal and grounded, and like they're doing the
babies.
thing. I know. Yeah. And they have worked really hard. Like Gym 4 have been doing this for like 4 or 5 years since that talent
Gemini's
show.
been trying to be famous since Toxic. So, like, shout out Gemini.
Truly, the amount of Gemini content on the internet is insane. That boy, like, literally every week there's a new piece of digital content that I'm like, bro.
This man's digital footprint.
It's
endless. I love it. I'm here for it.
LTBL is the least of that boy's worries.
Yeah. Okay, so that was one of mine. What's one of yours then?
Okay, the one that I don't think you also have is Love in Translation.
I do not have that, no.
Love in Translation really took me by surprise. I was not a Laz 1 fan, so I didn't know anything. I knew of Laz 1. I had kind of listened to their music, but I didn't know anything about the boys in Laz 1. So I didn't know about, like, the Da'u off-road journey, like, shipping from, like, day one, about, like, how Da'u mentored off-road. Like, since then, I've definitely, like, learned a little more about their journey to becoming the BL couple that we know and love now, but mostly because I really loved the story that this show told. The main boys had the chemistry, but really what it was like the overall story of the show. It was like silly and fun, but it had heart, and it was serious, and it had its moments. It definitely reminded me more of like what a K-drama gives.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it was like really short and sweet, and it had really dramatic, like the mafia stole this boy, and then he had to do this thing, but it was fine because like whatever. And then they had the cute little matching necklaces. Like there was just so much to it, and like the relationships between the side characters.
I was going to say, for me, that's really where, I mean, I, love a good Da'u off-road ship work situation. Yeah. But, like, the brother.
I mean.
Yeah. So good.
It was so sweet. And, like, the way that the girl handled.
Tammy, right?
Tammy, yeah.
Yeah.
The way that the girl storyline was, I mean, like... This would be a show that I would recommend to a first-time BL watcher.
Ooh, okay.
Because it's short, it tells a good story, it's interesting, the pacing is perfect. Like, it has everything.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
I'm
good.
so excited for Da'u and Off-Road and kind of like what this has spurred. Because I remember we were really excited about this show when it got announced. In fact, please stop asking us to interview Da'u and Off-Road because we're trying. We've been trying since before the show got announced.
They're so
Or since before
busy.
the show aired. Like, literally, we've been trying since before the show aired. As soon as it got announced, we asked.
Yeah.
Because we were excited about this show. We were so excited. And I remember, like, before, like, nobody was really talking about this show when it first came out. And I remember we were confused. We were like, why is no one talking about this? And then it just hit. Like, it just kind of randomly hit. I would say probably around, like, ep 4 or 5. It started, like,
when
really
they banged.
Hitting.
Yeah.
And
you're doing
I'm
a
just
good
like,
show.
I'm so happy for them that
Me
it
too.
hit because, like, I was really pulling for them.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I love a good boy band.
Boy band to BL pipeline. The boy band to BL pipeline. Atlas, if you're listening.
You got
Atlas,
this,
please.
bros.
Yeah.
Listen, we have
somebody asked me this, so somebody actually like literally went in the comments and was like, Ayla. And like I just really appreciate, thank you, first of all. This is one of my favorite things I've ever seen. I was like, Ayla, if you were casting an Atlas BL, who would you cast? And I was like, I got this. Like, I was like, yes. I mean, the answer is Junior and anyone. Like, just Junior and throw them all at him.
I mean, listen, Junior and Jet are really trying to like make something happen. They have like 3 songs now that they have like a sweet little BO moment.
I think it just happened, and then like
I mean,
because
Junior.
before that, like Junior and Nice did a whole thing in the Lole music video.
Right.
Yeah, basically Junior and everyone. Junior and Tad sometimes. Yeah. Never Junior and Erwin.
No.
That's never once happened. The closest that there's ever been like an Erwin crossover situation was Nice and Erwin recently at like a Christmas performance that they did.
Right.
I forget which one. I forget the one it was called. I can see it. So
at Central World.
Is it the Central World one where he like grabs his hoodie?
Yeah.
It's like a tiny stage.
Yeah.
I
think.
Anyways. That's literally the only time I've ever seen any one of those boys mess with Erwin.
Yeah.
Anyways, love a good boy band to BL pipeline. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Okay, what's your next one?
Okay, maybe we both have this one. We gotta both have this one. Bed Friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This was my 2023 Love in the Air.
That you just rewatched.
I became obsessed. I read the book. I loved everything about this show. I like Net James as people, but I like the show. Like I was a big Net James stan going into this show because we got Net James as a ship like 3 years before this show came out.
Well, because this show was supposed to come out for like 3 years.
Right. And so I was super excited with Net James. And so, then the show happened and I was like, oh my gosh, these characters, because like it's interesting. Net James is a ship. They play it pretty cool. They play it very similar to King and Ua, honestly.
They do.
Like Net plays this like coy, like, and James is like, I like you a lot. And it's really fun to watch. And like, that's exactly what the show ended up being. And so like, that was like, the show was probably so good because they had 3 years of workshopping. Like, honestly.
I really love this show. So this show is on mine because I really loved the storytelling in this show. Yeah. I thought that it was done really well. Even the moments that like could have come across cringe. So for example, hot tub on a boat. Like, if you just hear the words hot tub on a boat, like, exactly, you get that reaction of, like
the dream.
Right?
Didn't you
hear, like,
didn't we talk about booking a boat in Thailand that had hot tubs?
No, you literally made that up. That never once was a conversation. We did talk
about booking a boat.
We talked about doing a boat ride, like, but there were never hot tubs involved. That's all you.
I think when I saw the show, I was like, is there a special, like, yacht hot tub booking situation that happens?
I mean, I'm sure you have to specify you want a hot tub that's out on the deck of your yacht because that's not super common. Okay, anyways,
so good.
But like moments that could be cringe, or like the whole like kitty cat thing, right? Like could be cringe. I thought that they did such a good job of like it wasn't cringe, and that is hard to do.
Yeah.
And so I really respected that. I also thought that they handled like the way they showed and talked about it as childhood trauma really, really, really well. And I thought that the way it was portrayed was quite realistic. I myself have never been through that type of childhood trauma, but like I go to therapy for reasons. And so like there are certain things that you just learn from having that. And I was like, wow, this is one of the more realistic like depictions of the way, right? Because sometimes it's like it's very clear that someone is writing or talking about a thing that they themselves have never even come close. Right. And I thought that they did. I just thought the storytelling overall was done really, really well. Even I really liked the way they brought the girl in, and that King was supposed to, but neither of them wanted to be with each other. And there was the whole thing with the parents. Like, God, the storytelling was just really good in this one.
It really was.
I liked it.
I wasn't let down. We waited for that show for forever, and that definitely did not disappoint.
Yeah.
It left me wanting so much more. Okay, next up. I'm going to go Hidden Agenda. I loved Hidden Agenda. This was one that took me a minute to get into, but by the end, I really, really loved these characters and I really just loved Jung Dunk. I feel like it's one of those things where like Jung Dunk until you see them again, you're like, oh yeah, Jungdunk. Like the way they bring characters to life, the chemistry that they have together, it's just so fun to watch these two boys interact. And this story was a little crazy. I will say Hidden Agenda also gave us Uboom finally.
This story was wildin' with the like stalker situation.
Yeah, there was so much happening.
I did really enjoy this show, and I love Jungdunk. Yeah.
So good. So yeah, Hidden Agenda was on the list for me.
I mean, how could I not love a debate BL?
It's true. It's true. I have rewatched Hidden Agenda a few times.
Okay. I'm going to go outside of Thailand now.
Okay.
Our dating sim?
Yes.
Okay.
On my list.
Nice.
Yep. For sure.
Why?
You know, I felt like it was a Korean BL that like gave us something more. I felt like it had a great story, but it also had like what I felt like was real chemistry, and it was set in like grown-up space. Sometimes I feel like when especially KBLs love the like high school and college setting, and that doesn't feel it feels like they're in like a bubble. And so to put these two boys in an office and just like, it was just so cute.
I really loved the filmmaking of this one. Like I liked the way the show was cut together. Like it was like fun and quirky. It
and
almost felt like watching like a sitcom.
Yeah, and the way they did the clip in the dating sim at the end of each episode, that was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked the filmmaking. I mean, I loved the story, I loved the actors, I loved everything you said, but also for me, it was like what really pushed this onto my list of like best of the year was like the filmmaking was just like so quirky and fun and cool. Yeah.
It was very cool. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'll stay in Korea. Love Class 2.
Okay. Not on mine.
Love Class 1, I'm pretty sure I watched, which is, you know, it says something about the fact that I don't remember. Mainly because the KBL, sometimes you watch them, and because they're binge watches, and they're usually like 8 episodes, you're like one and done, and then you're like, you've moved on to something else, and you're like, oh yeah, I think I watched that. I kind of remember that.
Isn't this the one, I'm so sorry to the stands, where like there's a few like filmmaking flops, like you can see like a boom mic in a shot and things like that? Is this that show?
You said that, and I think this is the show that they talked about, but I don't remember seeing those. I need to go back and watch this because
it was so good you didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice. It was very much like Only Friends in that it had 3 different storylines with 3 different couples. And each couple, there was a little bit of an overlap friend-wise of the couples. So you had like one couple that was friends, one couple that was was like a teacher's assistant, and a student who had like left and come back. So he was like an older student. And then you had one couple that was just 2 students, but he had some kind of like trauma situation. I don't know. I didn't really understand that storyline, honestly. And then they ended the series with a fun little like camping frolic where they all frolicked and camped together, which was fun. I always love when the compilations bring together all the boys at the end. They're like, look at all these friends.
Like a Why Are You situation.
Yeah. So yeah, Love Class 2. I just really, the storylines were all very interesting.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Thailand. Moonlight Chicken.
Nice. Not on my list.
No. I'm just realizing I didn't actually double check, but I was like, I'm pretty sure this was 2023.
Yeah, it was in like February.
Okay. I got really nervous. I was like, wait, it was cold when this came out. So then I was like, wait, does that mean it was 2023? Like a flashback to watching it. And I was like, wait, did I get this wrong?
It came out right after My School President.
Right. Yes. Okay. Thank God. I panicked myself for a moment, you know, like having my like sense memory of
Remember
it being
because
cold.
Like Jim Ford
with Heart and
Yeah, but they had shot Moonlight Chicken before My School President, and so it was very strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, yes, Moonlight Chicken. So I just obviously for so many reasons, Moonlight Chicken. I think the number one reason is just the setting. We don't get a lot of this. I think that it was really a cool like way and place to tell a story. I think that like a lot of really heavy things happen in this show. Like it's almost like could be prescribed as like a downer.
Yeah.
But a lot of really like sweet, nice, hopeful things always follow it up. And it's like almost this great story of like life, how like life is hard and life sucks and life is sad and bad things happen.
Right.
But like at the end, right, like Hart has found this boy that he can connect with, and he's like kind of like figured out how to find a community, right? And then like you have, you know, the moment of like that sweet conversation at the very end where Lung Jim is like, did I make you gay? And right, and it's like, and it's just so sweet.
I mean, we got the second best line in all of BL. Of course, the first line being from In of Love, which is
right,
daddy
that doesn't mean daddy, or
like,
brother doesn't mean like,
daddy that doesn't mean daddy, like brother, like wait, daddy that doesn't mean father, like what is, oh my god, what is the, why can't I,
it's like brother that doesn't mean brother, like how father or daddy doesn't mean father.
Yeah, there you go. Which is you can't be gay and poor.
Right, you can't be gay and poor. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? Like, yeah, I thought this was like a really beautiful telling of like real life. I thought that it was a good, I mean, shout out to P Up for like showing the real issue, right? Because we get a lot of talk and dialogue around like, why is marriage so important, right? Like why are the papers so important?
Oh my god, that story.
And the storyline in Moonlight Chicken like just really illustrates like one of the many reasons as to like why it does matter, besides the fact that just like it matters because
because love is love.
I mean, love is love. Sure.
Shout out Zebra.
God, this show was just done so well, and it was so beautiful. And Cow Tongue with the singing and the crying, and just like all of it, everything about it. And then he finds himself a cute little accountant. I have feelings. I'm so sorry for your headphones.
So cute.
Anyways, this show is really good.
Yeah, Moonlight Chicken was good. Okay, another one from me from Thailand, Step by Step.
I also have that.
Nice. Step by Step really took me by surprise.
I was on board from the beginning, and you really were not.
I was not. Yeah. I did not. It took me a minute to get into it, but once I got it, and I was like, okay.
I mean, Man and Ben.
Yeah.
Man.
I didn't love the way that they kind of ended things. It felt a little disjointed and rushed. I didn't love Ben's character being like, oh my god, why do you like me? Like, he clearly liked him, and Man's character likes Ben. And so like that's the frustration I'm having with a show right now, where it's like these two characters like each other. They've said they like each other, and now they're just fully just like, why do you like me? And I'm like,
well, because they like each other so much that they're like, I can't believe you like me.
It's so annoying. Just be cute and kiss. But yeah, dang, they were fun. It ended well, but the like lead up to the ending, I was very annoyed by.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty vocal about, I normally have issues with like power dynamic storylines. I just think that like there's a lot to that, and like in a lot of cases we shouldn't be like romanticizing that. But I thought that Step by Step particularly handled it really well in the like separation of the power as much as they could with the storyline that they had, right? And I thought it felt very like grown up but still silly and fun. It was like grown up, but it was still had that like silliness and funness and lightness of like, yeah, like an intern college, whatever. And so for those reasons, I submit to you, Man of Ben.
Also, we got a surprising up kissing Ben situation that I did not see coming.
We don't talk about it.
That was wild. Okay, my last Thai one is probably a dark horse. Low Frequency.
That's also on my list.
Fantastic. Listen, this is why we are BO besties. Low Frequency, y'all. Okay, first of all, y'all know I love Bonus. Bonus could literally read the phone book and I'd be like, oh my God, he's a genius. He's a perfect actor. Oh my gosh. But in this one, he played the best loon that he could have ever played. And he was perfect and wonderful. And he gave us the twist of a lifetime that we did not see coming.
I will say that's part of the reason this show's on my list too, is because, listen, not to like, whatever. But normally I can see a twist coming. Like,
yeah.
And I think it's probably because like I was a writer for a living for a very long time. And so like, you know, and I went to college for writing.
You
like,
see a lot of the details that I definitely did not see.
And so, like, normally I can see a twist. Maybe not from the beginning, but normally, like, before it happens, I'm like, oh, yeah. I did not see this twist coming.
Had no clue.
And so when it got revealed, I was truly, like, shook. And shout out to Peebo for, like, we interviewed Bonus for this show. And we're, like, talking. And he gave nothing away, like nothing, like not even to the point where I was like, oh my God. And then looking back on the interview, I'm like, oh, he knew the whole time, and he like didn't really know like how to say or like what to, I was like, you like, have to watch the show. You just have to watch the show. The twist is so good.
He said something in the interview. Oh, we asked him if he had a name.
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, but I can't tell you.
Right.
And
we were like, what does that mean?
Why can't you tell us?
And now, okay. And so basically, he's a loon, but he's not really a loon. He's the dead boy. Anyways, which like I realize that sounds really intense. Low Frequency is also really good because there's also similarly like to one of the previous shows we mentioned, there's like a mafia situation where like they're on the docks. They've gone to the docks and like the mafia shows up and someone gets shot. And also Ping and Guitar, just so cute. If you
Ping and Guitar.
Oh my God, Ping and Guitar. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Ping and Guitar.
Oh my God.
The chemistry.
I mean, and he's a ghost. And this is a really good example of there doesn't have to be a spicy scene for it to just truly like enrapture you.
Yeah.
They kiss what? Twice in the whole show?
1.5. The second kiss is like an angle.
Right. They kiss not even 2 times in this whole show, and I am so on board. Literally at one point they're sitting in a meadow playing guitar and singing to each other, and it's so just cute. The loveliest experience.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Low Frequency. Shout out Quintana. They can make a show.
And just shout out Ping and Guitar. Like, they really, really, really killed this. This is such a good show, and if you didn't watch it, you're doing yourself a disservice.
So good. Okay, the last one on my list is a Korean one. It was called Sing My Crush. I just really like the story of this. This was one of those situations where a boy likes a boy. The boy doesn't like the boy. And so he's brokenhearted. But another boy comes and he likes boy number 1. And he treats boy number 1 so well through his heartbreak, through everything. And they're singing. And it was cute. It was just cute, honestly. It was very well done. It was another one of those Korean ones that finished. And I was like, it was just so like enjoyable to watch. It was like very comforting. It felt like similar to like June and June. And oh gosh, what was that? There was the other one where, oh gosh, I can never remember the names of some of these two, but for me, a lot of the Korean BLs are just like comfort watches. They're like a good little break, especially because a lot of the Taiwans were having to watch week to week for different reasons. And so I felt like the Korean ones, if I have like a day on the weekend just to like do nothing, I will just like sit and binge watch a Korean one. And
well, now you have Saturdays. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. It's going to come back, you guys. It really will. I promise.
Listen, there's like 10 other shows airing on Saturday at this point. So like, no love lost. Or no, it was on Sunday.
I have a lot of love lost, but like.
Wasn't it on Sunday?
Well, I guess Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We don't talk about it.
Listen, we joke through our trauma.
God.
That's how we cope. We
so much
we
trauma.
cope with jokes.
True,
we cope with humor.
Okay.
I have 2 more. My last 2. Let's go over to Japan. My Personal Weatherman.
That was really good.
I loved this show.
That
I
should have
loved
been on
this
my
show
list.
so
I'm putting
much
that on my list too.
because I love the dynamic between the two of them. It was so sassy and like it very much was like, you are so stupid. Like they were both just so stupid, and it was just fun watching two boys be stupid about each other. Like
I agree.
I had fun watching it.
This was one of those that was like definitely borderline toxic, but
for sure.
But like both of them were toxic for different reasons,
right?
And their toxic canceled each other out.
And they're both being so stupid. It's like you watch it and you're like, it's so obvious. Like, why are you so dumb? It truly is like. But I had so much fun watching this one that I was like, yeah, it's definitely in my top.
Damn, both of these boys are a snack.
Holy cow.
I just wanted to watch them just like they're the type of boys that like
I could watch them read the phone book silently.
They're like their movements and the way they spoke and like are like lyrical.
Yeah.
They're just so
oh my god.
Fantastic to watch.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Ugh. Give them another show. Truly. I know literally the Japanese are like they never do another, but like we got two seasons of My Beautiful Man and that was psychotic. So like come on.
Yeah, I would love another show from these two. Yeah.
That
was a really fun watch. Probably
that was a fun watch.
My favorite Japanese BL.
I would agree. I rewatched every episode. Like as soon as it ended, I rewatched it. I was like, wait, I missed something because those episodes are so damn short. I would be like, oh, why is it over?
Yeah, so good.
Gosh, so good.
Okay, my last one. This is also one that ended in 2023 that like started in 2022, but I will never let it go.
People are probably like, why hasn't she said this yet?
I will never let it go. Never let me go. I'm going to find a way, truly, just wait. A year from now, I'm going to find a way to make it one of my top BLs for 2024. I genuinely think Never Let Me Go is a masterpiece. Also, if you didn't know, now you know, I am a Ponpuin Delulu. Ponpuin is real. Pond and I are on the same page about this, by the way.
I mean, truly the best part of Ponpuin ship work is that Pond is a Ponpuin Delulu.
Yes.
Pond ships himself. Pond ships Ponpuin. Pond is like has an external view of Ponpuin.
Yeah, me and Pond same. No, okay, honestly, this show I think is really, really well done because I think that both of these actors were cast so perfectly for these characters, and it's so fun to watch from the outside because you're not watching the show from one boy's point of view or the other, which I think is a really cool way to tell a story. They tell the story like from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
It's not from Nungdiao's perspective, for example. Like you see some shots from his perspective, but they always switched back eventually, right? And you get to see both sides and just like I genuinely think Puin killed this character. Like, he is such a Bruce Wayne to me. Like, I fully see him. He is this, like, spoiled boy trying to figure out now how to, like, because that's the point. Like, a lot of people, and I think you had, like, similar feedback of, like, you just didn't believe Puin is this, like...
I didn't.
Like, moody mafioso, right? Like moody baby gangster.
Right.
But to me, I watched it and I was like, no, that's exactly right. He's not supposed to be believable because he's been this like sheltered little boy. Right. And now all of a sudden he's dealing with like watching his dad murdered in front of him and trying to figure out what his shady uncle is up to and like protecting his family business. And like all of a sudden this like sheltered, protected little boy is being thrown into like big boy world and like he's trying to be this thing that he doesn't know how to be, and so he's kind of doing it the way he would see someone on TV do it. And so like, and I just thought Puin played it so perfectly. I was like, I totally believe that he's not believable as a mafioso because he's not supposed to be, right? Like, and when he's like sneaking out of school and like the way that just everything about the way that Puin plays his character is so good. Even when he like, when he drugs him and leaves.
Oh my God. Yeah. That hotel scene when they're like dancing. Good God.
And like, I never thought I would have so much sympathy for a woman who abandoned Pond, like a boy as cute as Pond, but like I'm still upset about her death.
I know.
And
Pond had the audacity to bring her up in our interview.
I know. I genuinely think, and then like it's so striking to me how, and I think Pond played this character just as beautifully because like He's clearly in the situation that he doesn't really want to be in. He doesn't know why he's in it. He's just trying to listen to his dad.
Right.
But that first scene when he walks down those stairs and he sees Nungdiao and you just see him fall in love. Like, it's a love at first sight kind of situation. And and you see him fall in love with him. And we get another rooftop scene. In the rooftop scene. We have multiple rooftop scenes.
Truly.
But when he kisses him on that rooftop, God, and the dialogue is so good. Because he kisses him on that rooftop and he's like, I want to erase your whole, like, the bad kiss with Ben. Because screw you, Ben.
Listen, I had a great first kiss, but I, too, need Pon to erase my first kiss.
Yeah, Pon can erase my first kiss. It's fine. And like, but then when they're in the hostel and he's like, and Nungdiao is like, the first time we kissed, you kissed me to like make me feel better. He's like, but like now I want you to kiss me like if you really want me to be your boyfriend. Oh my God.
So good. I love that we're getting this new trope of I need to kiss you to erase a bad kiss and a bad memory.
Right. I'm such a good kisser. Oh, God. And when he's trying to learn, I just remember this other part. When he's like trying to speak the Chinese, right? Because like he's been thrown into this private school where he's expected to speak Chinese and he doesn't speak Chinese. Right. He clearly needs to hang out with Amber Lou's dog. And he's like trying to catch up on the Chinese and learn the Chinese. And Nungdiao is like tutoring him with the Chinese. He puts his hand, like his fingers right here. He's like, feel it. And then he's like, next time you say this word, this is what I want you to feel. Oh my God.
Also, I fully understand why he got a Nungdiao tattoo.
Oh yeah. And when Nungdiao, oh my God, when Nungdiao leaves him and thinks he's gone, but really he's following him around on the little motorcycle. And he goes in the bunk bed and he like gets his jersey and he like and lays in the bunk bed. Oh my God. The way I sobbed. This show is just so good. It's just so good. I have so many feelings.
Go listen to our series Sunday. There's so much more to be said.
I have a lot of feelings.
She's gonna write a personal letter to JoJo. You should actually.
I know. We interviewed JoJo and I didn't really get to talk to him about this show because like we're very focused on Only Friends.
And Nunu had nothing to do with Never Let Me Go. So.
And God. I didn't
take two.
JoJo.
We need to do an intensive with JoJo about Never Let Me Go. I feel like he'd be down.
Oh my God.
He doesn't have, he himself said he didn't have anything in part 1. So like.
In part 1.
He's chilling right now. Part 2 ain't till March. So we got some time.
That was our top of 2023. I'd love to know what your top of 2023
cannot wait
is.
for 2024. There's still so much more.
I know.
What is going to be our Never Let Me Go / bed friend of 2024?
I can't even imagine at this point.
Wani Good Day, I think, is going to be at the top of my list. I mean, we're starting. I'm pretty sure we're starting 2024 with We Are.
I think my top is going to end up being My Golden Blood.
I mean, truly, I think My Golden Blood will be the only Friends of 2024.
Yeah. Especially if they keep all the casting the same and Mond fucking flies through the air and is like a hot flying vampire. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I mean, it's going to be wild. I can't wait. Okay. Buy more merch. Someone DM'd us today. Lisa, shout out. I'm so glad you enjoy your merch that your friend bought you for a Christmas present. That's really sweet. Buy your friends LGBL merch. They'll love you for life. Also, you can still sign up for our Thailand trip. We have people going on the wait list weekly.
Yes.
Which means that we potentially could
open up some spots,
do another trip,
do another one if somebody unexpectedly has to, not go. Yep. Also, January 13th, if you are in the Houston area, close to the Houston area, would like to be in the Houston area, there's a cup sleeve that we are not hosting, but our good friend Jovi is hosting, along with one of our other friends, Rose Colored Prince.
So cool.
She's amazing. Yeah. I'm obsessed with
Sherry.
her. We
Shelly.
will be there.
Shelly. Sorry.
We will be there. As a matter of fact, we will have merch. We will have giveaways. We will have
it's gonna be so fun.
Our smiling, shining faces.
Come be our besties.
Yeah. So January 13th, see you in Houston.
Yes.
And see you in 2024.
This has been Let's Talk BL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all things Let's Talk BL at Let's Talk BL.